There's something that's been keeping me up nights, and it's probably been keeping you up too. Here it is. How does maternity leave relate to women's empowerment, right? Let's get into it. Believe it or not, in the United States before 1993, if you had a baby and you took time off, you weren't necessarily paid. It actually depended on the state that you lived in. I'm not quite sure what kind of boss decides to cut your pay because you are propelling a baby out of your body, but let's just say it happened, used to happen all the time, and it sucked. Maternity leave technically means that your employer is responsible for giving you time off without you being penalized or penalized. Can't be either. So kind of like vacation, except with sore nipples and 6 weeks of having to wear a grown-up diaper. Benefits offered by employers for maternity varied state to state, but the basic gist of it is this. Here's some time for you to recover from having a baby and settle in as a new mom before you have to come back to work. So you carry this baby in your body for about 40 weeks, and they give you some time to wrap your noggin around the fact that your uterus is huge and it better shrink down, and then you get to come back to work. So how long do you want? While you're thinking about your answer to that question, I want to thank the Great Courses Plus for sponsoring this video. The Great Courses Plus is a subscription on-demand video learning service that has over 11,000 video and audio lectures on every topic that you can think of. You can even hear lectures on feminism, on parenting, and politics. Use my link below to get a free 30-day trial. Okay, let's get back to how long you think maternity leave should be. Well, as someone who has given birth to 2 children, I can tell you in all honesty, I didn't really feel like back to normal for the better part of a year, especially not with my first. And with my second, I also had an almost 3-year-old, and so I guess I was in a little better shape to function in the world, but those women who are out at the supermarket and at the gym with a 1-week-old, those women are not from the village that I am from. We stay in bed. God bless those women for just springing right back. That's not my story, and that's not the story of a lot of women. Maternity leave is on average 10 weeks in the United States. Sometimes you'll get 3 months if you're lucky. Here's some scientific facts. It takes 3 months to build up and establish a milk supply if you're breastfeeding. Also, it is not normal for babies to sleep anywhere remotely near through the night by 3 months. So going back to work at 3 months means you're barely feeling like yourself, your body is still figuring out how to make milk, how to manage sleep in 2 to 3 hour spurts. So add to this the stress, the planning, and the preparation for going back to work, which you're doing while your body's literally recovering from giving birth. This is not natural. But that's also not to say that women shouldn't go back to work. I've done breastfeeding consultation for women who go back to work very quickly, and while it is a challenge, it is possible. What I do think is worth exploring is our culture's expectations surrounding returning to work, which really is indicated by our maternity leave policies. So why are some employers so stingy about maternity leave? Well, let's pretend that we are an employer for a second. You hire someone. She's awesome. She's productive. She's pleasant. People like her. She's a great addition to your team. And then she gets pregnant. Okay, she needs to take time off. She's gonna have a baby. It's gonna come out of her body. While you understand that she wants, needs, and deserves to take time off, you are losing an employee who is productive, pleasant, and a great addition to your team. And now she's gone. And maybe while she's gone, you need to replace her. So now you're not only paying for her salary, but also maybe the salary of this new person that you have to bring in while she's out having her baby. And what happens when she comes back? Do you get rid of this other employee? What if you really like them? What if you paid money to train them? There's so many questions. I guess the bottom line is this can feel potentially like an unsustainable solution to magically scale your operations dependent on a woman who's pregnant. So it turns out this situation is very complicated for the employer. And let's just be real. When the new mom comes back to work, it could be that she's kind of distracted. She's likely hormonal and emotional, which is totally normal at 3 months. Maybe she wants time off to pump breast milk for her baby. Maybe she's not feeling well. Maybe she has to go to more doctor's appointments than you expected because she had to have a C-section and she's got to get that checked on. Or maybe none of those things, but maybe she feels out of it because it's not like the company was put on pause while she was away, so she's kind of busy playing catch up. In a certain sense, you may not be getting back your productive employee. This is especially true in countries with a capitalist economy, where productivity and financial achievement are the goals. So when you lose someone because they want to have a baby, it can have a really big impact. Another reason that employers may balk at granting women maternity leave and benefits is that it may encourage women to have more babies. I know that sounds weird, but there are places all around the world right now who force women who work in factories to be on birth control because they don't want to lose labor to women having babies. There are even women forced to have abortions, sometimes in dangerous and lethal conditions, because employers don't want to pay benefits to women who are having babies. But the issue of maternity leave shouldn't be about the rights of a new mom versus the rights of an employer. It is in our society's interests to protect both women and the employer. I think the way through this situation is to have society help bear the cost, not moms and not employers. Because while I understand the need for productivity, and I also respect a workplace's right to know where and when their labor is going to be available, the human experience is not one that you can program like a computer or a timesheet. Every woman's birth is different, and every woman's recovery will be different. Every woman's home life is also different. Some women have a lot of support and help and childcare available. Others don't. And for women who don't have a partner or don't have that kind of support, they need more than 6 weeks and possibly even more than 3 months to figure all that out. Compassion for the diversity of women's experiences and situations is the first step. We need a society that understands productivity not just from the perspective of the workplace and financial gain. We need to come to an understanding that the development of strong family bonds and caring about the health of a mother and a baby makes for a stronger and more resilient society. For these reasons, the issue of maternity leave is one of feminist and humanitarian proportions. Maternity leave that is humane means you don't have to choose whether you want a baby or a job, period. And while an employer has the right to have secure labor, maternity leave is about the government helping us bridge that gap. The gap is between an employer's legitimate desire for productivity and consistency and a family's desire to raise their child the way they believe makes for the strongest family. That's actually healthy for all involved. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out the Great Courses Plus. Their audio and video lectures are taught by top experts all over the world, from the Ivy Leagues, the Mayo Clinic, National Geographic. There is a terrific course called Encouraging Generosity and Compassion, which touches on a lot of the things that I talked about in this video, but also with a little bit of a scientific perspective on what it means to actually have compassion, especially in a work situation. So please visit thegreatcoursesplus.com/Mayim or click the link below in the description for your free 30-day trial. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you next time.